Let's talk about it, squad. Once again, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are being dragged through the British tabloid sewer system. And this time, it's courtesy of a page 6 article that basically acts as a mouthpiece for the same crusty, dusty royal courtiers who still can't handle the fact that Harry and Meghan are free, thriving, powerful and completely outside the grip of the palace machine. Now they're claiming Prince Harry is being blackballed by the royal family because, get this, nobody trusts him. Oh please, the audacity of that statement is laughable. You mean the same royal family that leaks more than a broken faucet? The same institution that briefed against Meghan while she was pregnant, orchestrated a global smear campaign and yanked Harry's security while screaming about loyalty and protocol. That family? Let's be real. This whole narrative isn't about trust. It's about control. Harry stepped out of line by choosing truth over tradition, and the firm can't handle the fact that he didn't crumble under their pressure. They couldn't control his wife, they couldn't manipulate his choices, and now they definitely can't silence his voice. So what do? They drag him in the press, calling him whiny, hopeless, and saying he should beg for forgiveness. Forgiveness? For what? For surviving? For protecting his wife and children? For speaking up when silence meant death? Come on now. If there's any begging to be done, it's the institution that owes Harry and Meghan an apology for years of abuse, racism and betrayal. Let's break this article down because, honey, the gaslighting is Olympic level. They quote Hugo Vickers, a royal family apologist, saying Harry is just like his mother, the late Princess Diana, and not in a flattering way either. They paint her legacy of truth-telling and vulnerability as a liability. Vickers goes on to say Harry shouldn't have given that interview, and none of the royal family should ever give interviews because it's always a car crash. You know why they think interviews are a car crash? Because every time one of them opens their mouth, the truth leaks out in between the cracks of their centuries-old PR machine, and they're angry, furious, that Harry dared to speak about his own father, King Charles, pulling his security. They call it whinging and whining. But how else do you describe being abandoned by your own family and thrown to the wolves while raising 2 small children in a country where you've received death threats, all because you chose love, peace and mental wellness over a gilded cage? Let me remind you, Charles refused to see Harry when he flew to the UK for the Invictus Games' 10th anniversary. He came to honour veterans, to promote healing and support for soldiers, something the royal family supposedly cares about. And instead of welcoming him, Charles ignored his own son. Harry reportedly messaged his father and never even got a reply. Not even a busy son or maybe next week, just ghosted, but we're supposed to believe that Harry is the problem. Let me ask you this. What kind of father does that? What kind of king refuses to meet his own son but has time to hold court with palace press flunkies who are too cowardly to say his name without hiding behind royal sources? They don't want Harry to stop talking because they distrust him. They want him to stop because every time he speaks he tells the truth. He breaks their fragile fantasy of monarchy as some benevolent institution. He reminds the world that behind the pomp and pearls is a toxic structure that eats its young, especially if they dare to think for themselves. And don't even get me started on the line about maybe there's room to forgive, but they won't forget. Excuse me, they won't forget? Meghan was driven to the brink, lied about in the press, humiliated at every turn, while pregnant. Harry watched history try to repeat itself, and he did what any decent husband and father would do. He got his family out, but apparently that's unforgivable. Let me tell you what's really unforgivable. The racist headlines, the violent threats, the years of dog-whistling from palace insiders, the cowardice from people who had the power to protect Meghan and chose instead to protect the status quo. So yes, Harry spoke, and the world listened. That BBC interview already has over 1 million views, millions more when you add the clips from other outlets. The truth is out, and no amount of finger-wagging from dusty palace commentators can put that genie back in the bottle. You want to talk about trust? Let's talk about the years Harry and Meghan had to survive, knowing that people inside the institution were briefing against them to the very press that hounded Princess Diana to her death. Let's talk about the way the palace sources weaponized the media, while pretending to clutch their pearls over public interviews. At the end of the day, Harry and Meghan made the only choice they could. They left a machine that was never built to protect them, only to exploit them. And they built a life on their own terms, using their voices, their platforms, and their love for each other to rise above it all. Page 6. Prince Harry is being blackballed by the Windsors. Nobody trusts him. I've hit the wall with all of the palace briefings about Prince Harry and his BBC interview last week. This has become King Charles's latest worry stone, the thing he apparently cannot shut up about. All of the palace briefings have only served to amplify Harry's words and message, that his father yanked his security, putting the Sussexes in mortal danger, and it was all based on Charles's petty need to punish Harry for leaving. Charles's aides, courtiers and his sycophantic stenographers to power have blanketed the media, screaming hysterically about how dare Harry speak, and why doesn't Harry just shut up, and there will be no reconciliation if Harry keeps speaking. What is Charles going to do? Refuse to speak to his son even harder, all while openly briefing the media that Harry needs to stop talking? Well, enjoy page 6's exclusive on the situation. Whiny. Prince Harry is being blackballed by the royal family because none of them trust him, or Meghan Markle, according to sources in the know. I genuinely think nobody trusts him, and that's the bottom line. The royal family has major trust issues with him, and that's what's at the heart of everything, a close source said. They don't trust him and Meghan, and that's why they can't have a relationship. Maybe there's room to forgive, but they won't forget. Forgiveness and trust are two different things. I have total sympathy with the royal family, said Hugo Vickers, author and friend of the royal family. Harry is quite like this mother, the late Princess Diana. One day, when I was at Buckingham Palace, I was shown the letter that Prince Philip wrote to Diana, in which he said, "Every time Charles talks to you, it's in the Daily Mail the next day." The same thing is happening now. Charles is, of course, right not to trust him. Harry is hopeless in that respect. He shouldn't have given that interview, but none of the royal family should ever give interviews. It's always a car crash. Page 6 is also told that King Charles refused to see his youngest son when Harry jetted over to the UK for the Invictus Games' 10th anniversary celebrations in April 2024. Harry messaged Charles and he never heard back. He wanted to talk to his dad about security stuff then, but his dad wouldn't speak to him, the close source detailed. He really felt like his dad could overturn things. Harry has just got to accept the security decision and stop whinging and whining, Vickers said. It was disgraceful to talk about Charles's health. If he's not talking to him, how does he know anything about it? Vickers said. Vickers added that Harry should be begging his father for forgiveness, and it should be done quietly, not on TV, but he won't, because he's so stupid he's basically blown it. Vickers's point seems to be Harry is just like his mother. Diana leaked things, and I know this because Buckingham Palace used to leak Prince Philip's letters to me all the time. These royalists really tell on themselves constantly and with zero self-awareness. All of the tea about the Windsors' trust issues is moronic. You don't think Harry and Meghan have significant trust issues with the Windsors too? You think H and M are unaware that Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace regularly brief the press on what the Sussexes are doing? Harry's BBC interview, below, already has 1 million views. Other outlets put the full interview on their channels with BBC watermarks. I'm waiting for the palace's attempt to get the BBC to remove it, and that's what truly terrifies the royal family. So don't let the headlines fool you. When they say Harry is being blackballed, what they mean is he can't be controlled anymore. And when they say nobody trusts him, what they mean is he's not playing by their rules anymore. And to that we say, good. Harry and Meghan, we see you, we hear you, and we support you. Keep speaking, keep standing tall, and keep thriving in the light, far away from the shadows of an institution that never deserved you in the first place. All right, Royal Sussex Squad, if you've had enough of the hypocrisy, the gaslighting, and the palace propaganda, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and leave us a super thanks if you want to support the channel. Your support keeps independent voices like this one alive and helps us keep telling the truth about Harry and Meghan, loud and clear. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and stay Sussex strong.